Can the power of sound and vibration truly unlock the secrets of healing, alter our DNA, and even lead to advancements in medical treatments? Sound and vibration have shown remarkable potential in fields ranging from recovery to DNA manipulation and even medical treatments. Today, we'll dive into the world of frequencies and their fascinating impact on our well-being and the universe. Around 30 years ago, a Japanese researcher named Masaru Komodo made a fascinating discovery about something called Hado. He used a unique device to help over 10,000 people with various mental and physical issues. What he found was that water can remember information, and he proved it with a method called water crystal photography, where water displayed different patterns in response to other data. Imagine two tuning forks playing the same musical note and vibrating together. This is how energy can travel into two objects that vibrate at the same natural frequency. Even if two forks have slight differences in their frequencies, they can still transmit power. As the famous scientist Nikola Tesla once said, understanding the universe involves thinking about energy, frequency, and vibration. The universe's secrets are all tied to energy, frequency, and vibration. The law of vibration tells us that everything in the universe, whether we can see it or not, is essentially pure energy or light vibrating at different frequencies. Even things that seem solid or liquid are made up of tiny vibrating particles. So, in simple terms, everything in the universe is connected through the vibrations of energy. Electrons, protons, and neutrons within atoms are constantly moving. While modern scientists are exploring the realms of energy, frequency, and vibration, ancient civilizations already had a grasp of these concepts. They understood that words have their energy, and the intention behind the words conveys a deeper meaning. In the universe, every molecule and atom vibrates at its specific frequency. Even in the absence of any external factors, molecules can vibrate because their constituent atoms move in various directions relative to the entire molecule's position. Each component carries a finite amount of energy. When you know the resonance frequency of an element, you can amplify its waves to such an extent that they can disrupt or destroy an object. The universe itself is composed of light in the form of photon variations. These photons absorb and emit energy, leading to a continuous dance between photons and electrons. This interaction perpetually creates photon oscillations, ensuring that the universe is never at absolute zero, always in motion. Back in the 1920s, an American scientist named Dr. Royal Raymond Rife developed a machine known as the Rife frequency generator. This device produced low-energy waves, also called radiofrequency electromagnetic fields. While this approach using low-energy waves as a form of treatment is less common today compared to high-power methods like X-rays or radiotherapy, there is ongoing research into its potential applications. Dr. Rife conducted experiments by introducing the BX virus into rats, leading to the development of tumors in these animals. However, he achieved a remarkable breakthrough by exposing these tumors to a specific device he had designed, which emitted certain frequencies. This was known as his rabies device. In 1934, a team of physicians led by Dr. Johnson took 16 terminally ill patients from a San Diego hospital to the Scripps estate in La Jolla, California. Here, they subjected these patients to a series of frequencies recommended by Dr. Rife for 90 days. Astonishingly, within just 70 days, a team from the University of Southern California, USC, declared 14 of these patients to be clinically cured. The remaining 2 patients took an additional 20 days to reach the same positive outcome. Anthony Holland, an associate professor and director of music at Skidmore College, was deeply intrigued by the potential physical effects of sound. He and his team embarked on a journey to uncover the precise frequency that could disintegrate living microorganisms. They discovered that the magic number lay in a combination of high and low frequencies, with the high frequency being precisely 11 times higher than a low one, a relationship known in music as the 11th harmonic. At this 11th harmonic frequency, microorganisms would begin to shatter, much like crystal glass.
I tap this fork, putting little pulses of energy into it. The second fork will also vibrate in sympathy. And if I silence this fork, we just may hear the other singing its tone. we say that I'm inducing a sympathetic resonant vibration in the second fork. It only works because both forks are tuned to the exact same frequency.
After mastering the technique, Anthony Holland and his team proceeded to collaborate with a group of cancer researchers with the aim of targeting and destroying cancer cells. Their initial focus was on pancreatic cancer cells. They found that these cancer cells were susceptible to frequencies within the range of 100,000 to 300,000 hertz.
Results in an invitation to spend 4 months in a cancer research lab trying to shatter cancer cells. This is our setup in the lab. You can see the microscope with cancer cells on it. Here's the plasma tube, and here's my little frequency control box. So first we attack pancreatic cancer. Take a good look at this slide, because the next one will look quite different.
Through repeated and meticulously controlled experiments, the frequencies referred to as oscillating pulsed electric field technology exhibited remarkable effectiveness in combating leukemia cells. On average, these frequencies destroyed 25 to 40% of leukemia cells, with some cases showing an even higher success rate of 60%. These impressive findings extended to the successful targeting of ovarian cancer cells as well. In a more recent development, the treatment was tested against the formidable superbug MRSA, which is known for its resistance to common antibiotics. Astonishingly, the frequency therapy proved effective in eliminating antibiotic resistance, enabling researchers to introduce a small number of antibiotics to combat this deadly superbug successfully. Ancient healing practices have also relied on a variety of instruments and rituals. One example is the Acer Rose, a sacred song sung by healers to stimulate a patient's natural well-being and health. Ayahuasca, a psychoactive ethnobotanical concoction used for centuries by indigenous groups in the northwestern Amazon and syncretic religious organizations, plays a role in both ritual and therapeutic settings. Furthermore, ancient civilizations employed sound vibrations and frequencies to carve and levitate heavy stones and objects for constructing multi-story megalithic structures. This involved the use of devices tuned to specific frequencies, enabling the Egyptians to cut massive stones with remarkable ease. A Swedish doctor named Yarrow, who had studied at Oxford, embarked on a journey to Egypt in 1939 on behalf of the English Scientific Society. During this time, he received an urgent request from a messenger of his Tibetan friend to travel to Tibet and treat a lama. On one occasion, his Tibetan friend led him to a sloping meadow in the northwest near high cliffs. In this location, a conspicuous hole was visible in one of the rock walls at a height of approximately 250 meters. Monks had erected a rock wall on a platform in front of this hole, using ropes to lower themselves from the top of the cliff to reach the podium. In the middle of the meadow, about 250 meters from the cliff, stood a polished slab of rock. Monks in Tibet had a big bowl-like cavity, 1 meter wide and 15 centimeters deep. They used yaks and oxen to put a large stone block into the hole, measuring 1 meter in width and 1.5 meters in length. Then, they arranged 19 musical instruments in a semicircle at a distance of 63 meters from the stone slab. These instruments included 13 drums and 6 trumpets. The monks played these instruments while chanting prayers and increasing the tempo of the music. After about 4 minutes, the stone block began to move, and in 3 minutes, it lifted off the ground and landed on a high platform 250 meters away. They used this method to transport several blocks per hour on a curved track about 500 meters long and 250 meters high. Occasionally, a stone would break, and the monks would remove the pieces. A foreigner, Dr. Yarrow, saw this incredible sight and filmed it. However, his films were taken and kept classified by the English Society. The monks' music and chanting created an anti-gravitational effect, allowing them to move heavy stones. In ancient Egypt, there were claims, although unproven, that they used magic symbols and metal rods to move massive stones. While there's no direct evidence for acoustic levitation in the construction of the pyramids, they did possess remarkable sound-amplifying properties. In recent times, a team in Spain successfully used sound to levitate and manipulate small objects in 2015. Dr. David Deek created an acoustic levitation device in 1987 for microgravity experiment. It consisted of a 12-inch plexiglass cube with 3 speakers attached. By using a continuous 600 Hz sound wave and adjusting the amplitude and phase relationships of the 3 speakers, he could control levitation and movement in 3 dimensions. Researchers have also discovered a new type of medicine involving DNA influenced and reprogrammed by words and frequencies without the need to alter or replace individual genes. Jordi Eve's team transformed frog embryos into salamander embryos by transmitting DNA information patterns through frequency alone. They even repaired damaged chromosomes using this method and successfully reprogrammed cells to have a different genome. DNA not only constructs our bodies, but also serves as data storage and communication. Russian linguists found that the genetic code, mainly the 90% considered useless, follows the same rules as human languages, including syntax, cymatics, and grammar rules. This suggests that human languages are reflections of our DNA. Dr. Lieberthal, a music and health expert, studies how sound affects cells in the body and brain. He explores using sound to stimulate cells, reducing the impact of conditions like fibromyalgia, pain, Alzheimer's disease, Parkinson's disease, depression, and even increasing blood flow. Consumer vibroacoustic devices have been used to treat these conditions by influencing brain states with specific frequencies.
Many years after I started doing this, I discovered that I could just use a single pitch, like this. 40 hertz, remember this sound. Very low, it's like low E on the piano. But with this, I found I could help people reduce their pain and even reduce Alzheimer's symptoms.
Dr. Bartle and his research team discovered that specific stimulus rates could influence blood vessels to synchronize with those rates. These stimulus pulses have a broad impact, affecting multiple aspects of bodily functions and brain patterns, including communication between different parts of the brain. Neuroscience music therapy has been shown to benefit children who have undergone cancer treatments by promoting new gamma activity in their brains. Research has also demonstrated the effectiveness of music therapy in treating sleep disorders. It not only improved sleep, but also reduced pain in fibromyalgia patients. Using a pulse stimulus of 40 Hz, they observed significant improvements in sleep quality, pain levels, depression, and overall quality of life for these patients. These findings have far-reaching implications, as they suggest that we can reestablish the proper functioning of brain circuits and cellular processes rather than just influencing brain states.
You encounter a click like this. What's happening is that compressions of air molecules are coming to your ear, and your ear is translating that into an electric impulse and sending it to your brain, something like this. So it goes up the nerve and into the neuron, except it's not just one neuron, it's probably thousands or millions of neurons that are responding right to that click. Just a bit of information here. When we have one click coming to our ear, we call it 1 hertz, the measure per how many per second. When it's 5 per second, we call it 5 hertz. When it's 40, we call it 40 hertz. And the brain wave is measured in the same way as hertz. So 40 per second, or 40 hertz, sound will be called gamma because it's in the category of gamma brain waves.
These methods have also been successfully applied to Alzheimer's patients and individuals dealing with depression, yielding positive outcomes. Dr. Bartle outlines the specific techniques for each condition and emphasizes the importance of long-term exposure and cumulative results. It's important to note that continued exposure to the pulse stimulus is necessary for the treatment to be effective. That's all for today. Please remember to like this video, share it, and subscribe to our channel to stay updated with our latest content. Thank you for watching.